and I want to share with you one of my favorite presentations. It's savings efficiency. So this presentation, I love it for its simplicity, but it really does help to communicate. I know a lot of us talk to spenders, and it really does help communicate the idea that just making some slight changes to what you do with your finances and your expenses can make a huge difference. Like business owners tend to understand that every dollar I earn, it has a cost, and the lower the cost, the more profit I get. But a lot of people they tend to miss this. So I'm gonna leave the default numbers here just so you can see. But let's just say that we have someone that's come in and they make about 102,000 a year. Okay. And they're saving about 6,000 a year. And on those savings, wherever they're investing it, they're getting about 6%. So I'll leave that right just the way it is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit calculate, and it's going to give me some information. Okay. So in a year, they're going to earn $360 on that $6,000, right? And it also, let's do some really heavy math here. Their annual expenses are 96,000. How did I come up with that? Well, they make 102. They're only saving six. So 96 is going out the door. And this is just a really rough calculator, but here's what we're going to propose to the client. So let's say what happens if we were to reduce those expenses by just 1%. Okay? So I'm going to hit continue. So that would save me $960. Okay? Which is the equivalent return on 6,000 of 16%. So they're getting six, they earn 360, but if I were to get 960 in addition, that would be 16% of 6,000, right? And we can reverse the math because 16% of 6,000 is 960. Now, I'm gonna make a slight change. We can also switch from percentages to numbers. So let's say that I want them to save 2,500. Whoa, 25,000. Well, 2,500 saves 2,500. That's the equivalent of a 41% return on the 6,000. Why? Because 41.67 of 6,000 is 2,500. Now, the thing that I love about this is I can come in here and I can now change this. I can say, well, what if I really buckle down and I make a 3% change? Well, that's 2,800. That's the equivalent of 48%. Now I'm going to stop here for a second and see if anybody can answer this in the chats. How much risk did that 48% earnings cost me? See if anybody answers. But yeah, exactly. None, right? If I try to go earn 48%, I'm probably going to Vegas, right? That's about the only chance I got it at 48%, right? This savings efficiency is such an important piece because everything that we save, we get it risk free. Everything that we don't expend is risk free, and we can choose to invest it as well and earn on it. Okay, so I really love this calculator. I have it in my favorites whenever I'm talking to somebody who's a spender. We get them in there, and it's pretty easy to see. They got 100,000 coming in, 100,000 going out. Man, if we could just hold on to some of that money. So I think this is a great presentation that you guys should really just revisit. It's old school, but I love it because it really does help you drive home the idea that a small change can make a big difference.